everyone! This is High Five Einstein. Today, we will be discussing experiments. But before that, I want you to observe the two plants here on the board, labeled Pot 1 and Pot 2. These tomato plants were given the same amount of water, soil, and sunlight. However, one of them was given plant food, while the other one was not. Now, based on your observation, what do you think is the difference between the two plants? Great ideas! For your science experiments, we will use something called the control group and the experimental group. These two groups are essential in an experiment because they help us clearly understand and explain the results. By comparing them, we can determine whether the treatment truly makes a difference. Now, let me first give you the definitions. The control group is the group in an experiment that does not receive the treatment or change. It is used as a standard for comparison. The experimental group is the group that receives the treatment or the variable being tested. Now, let's apply that to our example. Because of this setup, we can compare the two plants. The purpose of the control group is to serve as the basis of the experimental group, so we can clearly see the difference. As a result, if we give the tomato plant a plant food, it may produce more fruits and become healthier. In our plants, the one that did not receive plant food is the control group, while the plant that received plant food is the experimental group. Did you get it? Let's have more examples. Let's say we want to find out if a new cleaning product is effective in removing stains. The control group will use plain water to clean the stained surface. The experimental group will use the same clean water along with the cleaning product. After cleaning, we compare which surface has fewer stains or is cleaner. This helps us see if the cleaning product is really effective. Another example is effect of practice on game performance. Let's say we want to find out if practicing a game improves performance. The control group will play the game without any extra practice. The experimental group will be given extra practice time before playing the game. After that, we compare their scores or performance in the game. This helps us see if practice really improves how well a person plays. Again, a control group is the group that does not get the change. It stays the same so we can compare. And an experimental group gets the one change, the variable, we are testing. Only one variable should change between control and experimental groups so we know what caused the result. The control group helps us see if the change really made a difference. Now that we understand the difference between the control group and the experimental group, let's proceed to a short quiz. This time, I will give you 15 seconds to answer each question, and then I will reveal the correct answer. There are only 3 questions in this quiz. Are you ready? Let's begin! In this question, a student named Mia wanted to test if listening to music affects concentration while studying. She wondered if students would perform better on a quiz when they listen to music. Mia asked 2 groups of students to study the same lesson for 30 minutes. One group studied in a quiet room without music. The other group studied while listening to soft background music. After studying, both groups took the same quiz. Mia recorded their scores. In this experiment, which group was part of the control group? The correct answer is the group that studied in a quiet room without music. Let's proceed to the next question. A teacher named Mr. Cruz wanted to find out if using flashcards helps students remember vocabulary words better. He selected 2 groups of students and gave them the same list of words to study. One group studied using flashcards. The other group studied by simply reading the words from a list. After 20 minutes, both groups took the same vocabulary test. Mr. Cruz compared their test scores. In this experiment, which group was part of the control group? Time's up. The correct answer is the group that studied by reading a list of words. Did you get that right? Now, for our last question. A researcher wanted to test if wearing headphones affects focus while working. He asked two groups of workers to complete the same task. One group wore noise-canceling headphones while working. The other group worked without headphones. After finishing the task, the researcher measured how many errors each group made. In this experiment, which group was part of the experimental group? The correct answer is the group that wore noise-canceling headphones. And that brings us to the end of our lesson for today. Now we understand that the control group is the group that does not receive any treatment, while the experimental group is the group that receives the treatment or change. We also learned that these two groups are very important because they help us make a fair comparison and allow us to clearly see the effect of the variable being tested. Remember, class. Control group. No change. Experimental group. With change. Great job today, everyone! This is High Five Einstein. See you next time!